Okay, good afternoon, y'all. This is the man in the black mask, and I have something really bizarre to share with y'all. Okay, now this is about this ex-Texas teacher who received 2 life sentences for 2 counts of child molestation. Now, you believe this? He should have never been allowed around children in the first place if they knew he was capable of such a thing. But people pass background checks, and naturally, those background checks don't tell you nothing about their potentials for doing bad stuff. And yeah, this guy here, he is a poor excuse for a teacher. Okay? Topher James Stout. Now, he deserves to become fresh meat when he goes to prison. Okay? He ruined 2 children's lives, and now his shall be ruined upon entering the cell. Okay? Now, let's begin, shall we? A former Texas high school chemistry teacher was slapped with 2 life sentences after admitting he molested 2 children multiple times, according to a report. Topher James Stout, 41, pleaded guilty Wednesday to 2 counts of aggravated sexual assault of the 2 victims. Both were under 14 when they were molested between 2018 and last year, according to ABC affiliate KTBS TV. Oh, this son of a bitch. Who would have ever thought he'd do such a thing? The victim's family and I visited multiple times in lieu of the victims having to testify. We all agreed this was the best disposition. Harrison County Assistant District Attorney Madison Hood told the station. We are pleased with the plea and hope the victims can continue their healing with the criminal side closed, Hood said. Now, I just gotta say this. It's probably a good thing the kids don't have to relive the misery in court and have to face the son of a bitch that ruined their lives. Okay? He did a lot of fucking dirt with those kids, and he should have been supervised. But even better, he should have never been allowed the position of a teacher had they known he'd been capable of such a thing. But like I said, the background check don't tell the whole truth. They don't tell the whole story. Sometimes that don't happen till it's too late. Stout, a former teacher at Longview High School, initially was arrested July 16 when police responded to his home shortly after 2 a.m. on report of a sexual assault on a 12-year-old, authorities said. When officers arrived at the scene, a witness told them they had personally observed the defendant engaging in sexual acts with a child under the age of 14 years, the Longview Police Department said in a release at the time. The defendant ran from the home after police were contacted, but was later apprehended and arrested for the offense of aggravated sexual assault of a child. When interviewing the young victim, police learned that Stout had also molested other children between November 1st, 2018 and July of last year. Wow. Man, he should have got a bullet in his head. He pleaded guilty to sexually assaulting 2 of the victims, though it's unclear how many there may have been in total. Now that tells you right there that even though the case may be on its way to closure, they still got to investigate if there were potentially more victims who may or may not be accounted for. But like I said, Topher James Stout, he will likely die in prison, and he will likely become fresh meat to someone named Bubba. And Bubba could be white, Bubba could be black. But either way, he got to answer to Bubba. Because he's going to have his fucking dick in his mouth when this is over. He might take it up the ass and get AIDS. You never know. But I do know this. So I'm going to be frank with you. I'm going to be frank. The inmates and the guards do not like child molesters or rapists in general inside prisons. They don't last very long in it. Even in protective custody, they don't last very long. So yeah, you got to be a fucking killer or a terrorist in order to survive a place like that. But they don't like certain people. And this includes gang members and rapists. Now, Topher James Stout, don't be surprised when you hear that he got fucked up or killed in prison. I know I'm not going to be surprised. Think about Jeffrey Dahmer. He got his while he was locked up. He just happened to prey on the wrong people. And then this crazy dude, twice as crazy as Dahmer was, ended up killing him, with a dumbbell. Killed this other inmate too, Christopher Scarver. He was schizophrenic and didn't give a fuck because he was in for a 1989 murder. So him whacking 2 inmates meant nothing to him. But Topher James Stout, man, he better watch his back. As soon as you go to Fat Pen, watch your motherfucking back. Because once they find out you did what you did, they're going to kill your ass, dude. I'm sure there's a lot of people that wish they could have went after this dude and took his fucking head off. I know I would have, had he done this to my kid. I would have got to him before the cops did. And then the cops would have to get me and not the teacher, because I would have killed that motherfucker. You understand? I would have killed his fucking ass. I'm sure any parent that suspects that somebody did something to their child will probably want to go after the son of a bitch responsible for their kid's misery. Because some of these parents have absolutely nothing to lose when it comes to their kids and will do anything and go to great lengths to protect them. And I know you would too. There's a lot of you viewers on here that watch my channel, a lot of you viewers that may or may not watch my channel that have kids and grandkids that you would stop at nothing to protect, that you'd all give your left nuts to keep your kids alive and safe and sound. Your grandkids too. I mean, no child should ever have to go through being molested or have his or her life ruined, by this one piece of shit who obviously could not keep his hands to himself. Now, I sure hope that the kids, find God and that they heal from this. Though it's not going to be easy, it's going to be very challenging. It's going to be a challenge for those victims to process what the hell just happened to them, as well as why. Why would this man even go out of his way to do such a thing? And I know that's not the only question these victims are asking. I'm sure their parents are asking the same thing. What gives them the right to do that to their kids? Possibly even others. Well, it doesn't matter, because now his ass is going to prison. He's doing life, and he's going to die in there. Just like Larry Nassar, when he molested those gymnasts. Now, that fucking disgusted me. I nearly had a reaction. I almost threw up upon watching the coverage. Okay? The youngest victim was like fucking 6 years old, and this son of a bitch went on this long without getting caught. He managed to get away with murder this whole fucking time, Mr. Nassar. Oh, son of a bitch. I'm glad this one victim, told Mr. Nassar in court, I fucking hate you. Good. If I was the rape victim, I would tell him the same thing. I fucking hate you. And I wish I killed you when I had the chance. I mean, come on, man. Something got to be done about those pieces of shit. Those that think they can prey on kids and get away with murder. There's too many motherfuckers out there getting away with murder, and yet the state won't do nothing to put their asses in jail. Well, I'm sure that's all going to change once criminal justice reform, comes into play. Because that's what we need, criminal justice reform. Reform that protects the innocent and not the guilty. As of right now, they pride themselves on punishing the guilty. No, and punishing the innocent and protecting the guilty. And that needs to stop. I'm glad things are changing. And that makes me even happier just by being here. Okay? Because things are changing. Times are changing. But in a good way. Because the pandemic is starting to lose altitude. I know a lot of you can't wait to get back outside again and get your job back and do your own thing or whatever, while all this crazy shit has been going on since we was on lockdown. And you know what? I'm glad the man in the black mask signed up for the channel. Because political views are just too important in the face of the pandemic. Given everything that people like us go through, why not voice our opinions and our expressions and our angers in a way, And I figure being a YouTuber is one of them. Okay? But I'm very happy justice was served on a silver platter on this teacher's part, Topher James something. I don't know. I don't care. Because either way, he's going to die in prison. Topher James Stout, he ain't going to get out alive. I'm just glad the book was shown at him. I'm glad the judge did what they had to do, and so did the victims and the prosecution. And now, I'm glad that chapter has been written out and closed, okay? I'm glad they wrote the final chapter. And like I said, I hope these kids get some help at some point. They're going to need some serious mental help because this could ruin their lives forever. And trust me, if I was a molestation or rape victim, trust me, I'd be fucked up too. I wouldn't know what the hell to do because I know plenty of men and women that were products of sexual abuse. So this is very personal to me because I went to school with some of them that was raped and molested. So each time I read these stories, I can't help but want to crack. I mean, because I think, God damn, this could have been me. This could have been any of you if it hasn't already. But again, if it has happened to you, I'm sorry. I wouldn't wish it upon nobody, okay? And in my opinion, all child molesters and all rapists need to be shot in the head. If not, have their heads chopped off and thrown in a barbecue grill. You understand? Now, I'm not on here to preach violence. I'm just on here to, preach justice. Okay? I would rather see justice get served, which is a good thing. And so far, we're making a difference. I just want to see justice get served. I want to contribute to justice being served because years back, we was all being done an injustice. They won't serve us no justice, whether we're victims or defendants, And that needs to change for us minorities. Because some of us have been victims, which is why we ended up in the courtroom in the first place. And yet they fucking treat us like it's our fault when it ain't. I mean, that's where the buck stops. Anyway, thank you for listening to The Man in the Black Mask. And if I have another story, I'll get it out, no problem. But in the meantime, don't forget to like and subscribe or drop a question underneath the screen. And tell me what you think about this bizarre story and what this teacher did to those kids. Because it is really sad and disheartening in their own rights, okay? I'm not going to lie to you, okay? I wouldn't wish this upon nobody. I wouldn't want no children to get molested, ever. Nobody deserves to live like that. Nobody should have to be subjected to that kind of bullshit. But again, this is very personal to me, okay? I'm not saying it's because I was a rape and molestation victim. I'm not, but I knew others who were. So yeah, this pisses me off. So anyway, like, subscribe, and question underneath the screen, okay? Until then, good luck, be well, and have a good day. Thank you for your service.